became a CDL holder, be careful, because everything you do from now on inside a vehicle is going to affect your CDL and affect the jobs that you might be able to get, or the willingness for the company you're at to keep you.
Twisted.
So now, whenever you operate a vehicle, it doesn't matter if it's your personal car, it doesn't matter if it's the truck, it's all going to affect you. You're all like, you're thinking, hey man, I bought that sports car, I bought that Hellcat, I bought that vet, whatever it is. And you want to show what it can do on the streets. Just remember that that's not a good idea, because that guy might be revving his car up next to you and being like, come get you some. And hey buddy, let's take it to the track over there. Meet me at the track. I'll show you what I can do. Even if you just take your car to the track where there's trained safety professionals out there in case something happens, you got EMT out there, different stuff like that. You take off down the track, man, you do all you want over there. Get your speed, whatever. Find out your time in the quarter mile. That way, next time the dude comes back, he's revving up on you again. You'd be like, hey, pull over. Check this out. That's how fast my car goes. At least you got some numbers. Hey, you want to meet me at the track? And we'll meet at the track so we don't get no tickets and we don't lose our license. It's not smart. So also, you got to know that whatever you do from this point on is going to really affect your career. A lot of people don't realize that. Like, I get students all the time that are all like, yeah, man, I can't wait to get home, man. I'm going to take my car out. I'm going to go see if anyone wants to like catch a street race. And I'm all like, whoa, time out. Don't you know now that if you get caught doing a street race, it's going to affect your CDL? Look into the state that you live into. Find you a track. Go to the track. That's all I'm saying. Now, the violations that you get, they're now going to affect that CDL. So some of the most common tickets that people get, and remember, these come with demerits and stuff like that, but some of the most common that you get is like stuff like speeding, following distance, improper turns, reckless driving, failed to yield the right of way. So you're at that parking lot and you're all like, you know what? I'm tired of waiting. I think I can get out here and be faster than this car. And you pull out in front of them and they have to slam on their brakes because guess what? You're in the way. That's not good. So just so you know that when you get caught, you get that pulled over and you get that ticket, it's going to affect your CDL. It is. Now, here at Prime, we have the safety department and citations. So if you get a ticket, you need to report it because they're going to find out about it anyways, period. They're going to find out about it. And if you try to hide it, it's not going to look good. So whenever it happens, hit them up. They can advise you on the best things that you need to do. Prime has a lot of lawyers that can take a look at it if need be, and they can help you with your situation. Citations can, also help you with your situation. Like, they have knowledge on all kinds of stuff. Like, we got a good team at Prime, a good support system there. If maybe you don't have the money to pay for that ticket, you can get with them, then they can pay that ticket and they can charge it to the truck and take it out month or week. After a couple of weeks, they can take it out. That way it gets paid, because at the end of the day, they don't want to lose a good driver over a bad mistake that they made, whether it be in the truck or your personal car. You still have to report it once a year. Prime hits you up. Hey, like, here's this piece of paper that you have to fill out. And it says, it has a statement on there that everything that's in this report is accurate, to the best of your knowledge. And it's going to ask you if you had any tickets throughout the year. If you have none, you put none, sign it. If you got a ticket, it needs to be on there because they're about to check your record and see if you have any tickets. They can check that stuff real fast. So you want to be honest with it. Now, each state you go to, they have their own system of demerit points and stuff like that. I've done research on Missouri. I've done research on Texas. I was doing research on different states to see how different it was. I didn't go through every state to make this video. There was too much. There was a couple states that don't even have demerit points, but you want to read up on what your state requires. And each state, the demerit points, like for your first offense, they will not come off of your record for a certain amount of time. So for the first offense, I've seen 6 months to a year. It's going to stay on there for 6 months to a year, depending on how many points it is. And then I've seen on the second offense that it was pretty much 18 months in a lot of states. And then, if you get more than that, it's 3 years in some states. So make sure you read up on the state that you're in and find out the information you need. So some of the examples of getting these demerit points, and this could be the first time that this happened, but say you're driving on a closed road, like say it snowed a lot and you're all like, man, I'm going to drive on that road anyways. Or say you come up to a closed road that's blocked off and you move the signs and you're all like, I'm just going to drive down it anyways. You're about to get you a ticket for 3 demerit points. Failing to obey a stop sign. You run a stop sign, that's 3 demerit points. Failure to yield the right of way, 3 demerit points. So that's some examples of getting 3 demerit points. Like there's a lot more. There's a lot more that you could get for 3 demerit points, but that's just some of the examples. 4 demerit points is going to be more of like over the speed limit, 15 miles per hour or that much over. Following too closely will get you 4 demerit points. Some examples of 6 demerit points is failing to stop for the school bus, like not following the school bus signs that they throw the open sign and you're like, I'm going to go around it. Like 6 demerit points. And it should be because there's kids involved. At the end of the day, we're the professional driver. We should know better than to run around that bus. Exceeding the speed limit over 25 miles per hour is going to get you 6 demerit points. Now, some of this stuff, you might lose your license anyways for the first time, like 7 points. Failure to remain at a scene of a collision. So that means you had an accident and you drove off. Like you're probably going to, in most states, you're going to lose your license right there. You're done. Whenever an officer signals you to pull over, we've seen those pop-up weight scales. They're all like, you in. You don't go in there, or say they turn on their lights and they're chasing you pretty much. Guess what? You're going to get 7 demerit points. It's also reversing on a highway or going the wrong way on a highway is going to get you 7 demerit points. A lot of those are some serious things. So make sure that you don't do that stuff. You don't want these demerit points. Whenever you go to say you go to a company and you're trying to get a job there, they're going to look at how many demerit points you have. They're going to check your safety record, your driving record, all that stuff. They can look at it all. And if you have too many infractions, they're not going to hire you, because guess what? That affects their insurance. If you come onto their insurance and you're not a safe driver and you're getting these tickets, it's going to raise their insurance. And then you're looking at, like, maybe the place gets too many tickets that they can't afford the insurance no more. It's went up that much that they have to close down. I'll tell you a story. So one of my buddies got his friend a job with him, and he was all like, man, this is great. My friend's working here, I'm working here, and everything's good. Well, this guy decided he got some tickets in California. He said, I ain't paying them. I'm not paying them. I just ain't going to California no more. So guess what? He didn't appear for court, all that stuff. The tickets were there, and the insurance skyrocketed because he never took care of these tickets and stuff that he had, and he didn't even tell the company. So my buddy was working for this company, and they said, oh, Ma and Pa company, they're like, hey, we got to shut down. Like, we're done. We're going to liquidate everything, and we're closing the doors. And my buddy was like, why? We were doing so great. And they said, They pretty much told him, hey, one of our drivers didn't pay his tickets in California. We can't tell you who, but one of them. And he was already like, I know who you're talking about. So they had to close down, and they let him move to one of their other companies that they had trucks on. They said, hey, we're just going to move you over here. That guy's gone. Like we let him go, but he did enough damage that we can't stay open paying that high of insurance. And that's the problem with working with some of these small companies. You're working with some of these small trucking companies, and that might happen to them. You might be working there one day and they might get this bad apple at their company that gets some tickets or gets into a major accident, and it's over with. They got to close the doors. Like that accident in Colorado a couple years ago. I mean, if y'all remember what it was, he was going down a grade and he killed a bunch of people. Like, it was not good. Well, that company he worked for, I think they said that like moments after the accident, they closed. That like they were all like, oh, we don't exist no more. Like, we're gone. You know, they can't afford to be fined and, you know, all that good stuff. So you got to make sure that, you know, you're driving safe, because that's going to not only affect you, affect the company you're working for and everybody at that company whenever you get into one of these violations. And just so you know, that these violations in the truck or out of the truck, they're still going to affect your CDL and your chances to getting that next job. You don't want to affect your odds of going to work somewhere else. It might have made you lose the job that you're at. So now you're looking at that next company. They won't touch you because they're all like, you know what? Your record is bad. We don't want no part of you. And unfortunately, that happens. And you're going to have to wait time for all this stuff to fall off your record. You're going to have to go find you another career path until you get all this off your record. That way you can come back to trucking. And unfortunately, like, the damage you've done to yourself, you know, it's going to take years to come off. So if this video, and before I say that, make sure that y'all check out the state that you live in and do your research on it and find out how long these demerits will stay on your license and stuff like that. That way you're already kind of got the knowledge of it. That way, whenever something does happen, you're more prepared for it. This is the steps I need to do. I'm going to fight this. I'm going to fight it hard and try to get this off my record, because it's going to affect me and it's going to affect my family. So if this video helped you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down there and make sure you give me a thumbs up. Don't forget a thumbs up. Remember, at the end of the day, knowledge is power. The more knowledge we have, the more power we have. Add me as a referral to your application. Click yes and then type in COXDJO. Make sure you click the next video right there.